All right, this is our content video for Genesis chapter 3. Uh, this entire chapter completely revolves around the death and burial of Sarah. Her death at Hebron shows that by this time Abraham had moved on from Beersheba. She had lived 127 years, and this was evidence and point pointing towards the fact that she was indeed uh, blessed. We are told that Abraham went in and mourned her, so she was probably in her tent. And then, this led to the need to find a place to bury her. No doubt, a number of Abraham's people had already died, but because Sarah is the mother of the promise, she needs to have a place in the land promised to them. And so he knows of a cave and asks the Hittites for permission to buy some land to bury Sarah. They are very generous and offer that she could be buried with their people. In fact, any of their uh, graves would be available to Abraham to bury Sarah. They're showing the fact that Abraham was indeed blessed with a good name among the people and that he was respected. But Abraham rejects this offer, but he repeats the request that he'd like to buy land of his own to bury Sarah. He further gives details of the actual land he wants to purchase and asks for them to ask on his behalf for permission to buy the land from Ephron, who he knew to be the owner of the land. Abraham is shown further kindness, this time from Ephron, who offers to give him the land. And not only does he offer this land, he makes this offer in front of the people. This would his own people. This would make it binding. It must also be noted, however, that this may be a cultural way of talking. It may merely mean, I am willing to sell you the land. But again, it may also reflect the acknowledgement of Abraham being a blessing to them. Either way, Abraham refuses for his own reasons. And this is likely because from the beginning, the land was to be given to him by God, and he did not want any indebtedness to others. If you remember back when he had rescued Lot, he refused to take anything from the people when they offered it to him because he did not want anyone to claim that they had made Abraham rich. It was God who was to bless Abraham. And he always kept that in mind as he was wandering throughout the land. So the next phase of this, the interaction is the price for the sale. Abraham asks for the actual price or the value of the land, and Ephron claims that the field is worth 400 shekels. Some commentators say that this seems to be a high price, but I'm not really sure how we can know that for sure. But again, either way, he once again offers him the land. Oh no, there's nothing between you and I. Just take the land. Again, another offer, and again Abraham refuses, and he makes that clear by giving him the price of the 400 shekels. He does that in front of the others, the other Hittites, at the city gate, and so seals the ownership of the cave and the land around it. This may also be symbolic, as the buying of land showed the trust of the future fulfillment of the promise that all the land would be Abraham's. And so this is kind of an initial deposit. One other thing to note about at the city gate is that the city gate was kind of the civic center of the town, where disputes would be resolved and, of course, transactions would take place, as what's happening here. So Abraham, after buying the land, buries Sarah in the field of Machpelah. This may have been the location of the land, but the name, it will be known. It's the name that's going to be known by moving forward. And it seems that this name means portion, i.e., the portion of the land that Abraham had purchased, symbolic of the whole that is to come. Abraham would also be buried there, as would Isaac and Jacob. So that's kind of an overview of Genesis chapter 3. I hope to see many of you at our Bible study.